All right, we're live, direct, New York. Got lots of goodies today. It's beautiful outside. It kind of feels like the eclipse is like a better like a better threshold to spring than the equinox was. But this feels like spring. This is nice. Look at that city. You can see it's still like, the leaves aren't all there, but we got some green popping in. We got some buildings. They're always popping in. Empire State's hidden somewhere back here. Oh yeah, you can just behind that tree. I guess it's probably like, there it is. Empire State Building. But let's focus on the product. What do we got here? Solo right now. Hopefully Willie will be coming up in a minute. Tyler is MIA. Ran away to watch the eclipse in Canada somewhere. And what do we got? We got 3 products today, including something brand new, Linenfoil. New material, experimental, highly experimental. I'll let Willie talk about that when she shows up, hopefully, fingers crossed. And she's got a lot more wear experience with it. We got some classics, injected linen pants, 6 colors, roll dyed black, roll dyed olive territory, roll dyed concrete, I believe. Comes in a little light in the roll dye. I hope I get this right. Roll dye, dry tan, roll dye medjool, so RD medjool, RD. They're showing really light on the screen too. Like, this is darkness. It's not as dark as some of the darknesses, but it's certainly darker than the screen is showing it right now, with this beautiful northern light washing over it. I guess thumbs up if you can hear me. I've just been talking. I hope I'm not talking to the air. And I don't know where we start. We got so much. Oh, I skipped over a product. It's sitting right there. The Futuregliders. Product number 3. 3 products today. 3 different flavors for the springtime, for the summertime, getting you ready. 3 lightweight joints, 3 lightweight fabrics. So we should start with the Linenfoil. I need Willie for that. She's got a lot more wearing experience with it. But you can show it to you. Quite beautiful. Put on a minute. Let's do the basic injected linen. Hopefully Willie shows up. Some of you have seen this with props. The injected linen structure. That's the front side, back side. This is literally like, it's done on a crazy industrial machine, but this is literally the construction of it. But why do we make injected linen? Why is it different than all other fabrics? And it really is. Like, you can find similar fabrics, not with linen. You can find similar constructed fabrics in billboards or roofing materials. Concrete is really cool. There's new concrete that uses carbon fiber that actually knits the fiber on these very similar, if not the same, machines that we use. Here's Willie strolling in. So I'm just doing the classic demo. Why do we injected linen? So this is a weave. This is literally a weave in front of us. Right, very classic plain weave, up, down, over, and right. You got your warp, your weft. That's a weave, right? And you can see it makes a pretty opaque material when you do a standard weave, balanced, relatively tight, and it makes a pretty stable fabric. But there's not a lot of light going through, which means there's not a lot of air going through here. It's very opaque though. You can loosen it up, and this one's falling apart, and that's part of the problem. Like literally, like if you could, right now we just use smaller, essentially yarns, it's webbing, to create the structure, and you get more, but you could just space out the bigger yarns. It's another option. And now you get transparency and you get air going through, and they come together, right? Like, you want a lot of airflow on your pants, well, people are gonna be able to see through them. And also, I mean, this is a big thing when you're weaving, like, it doesn't have to be exactly balanced, but you need a similar tension across the warp and the weft to hold everything in place, right? Like, it's literally like the up and down of the two is locking in place, and if the tension is wrong, it's gonna like fall apart essentially. So injected linen is our solution. Like, we were like, how do we get something that's opaque enough to wear, right? Like that, right? You know, they sell pants in gauze, open, very mesh, right? You can buy these things. We make mesh shorts occasionally, but you know, they're not that versatile because you can see right through them. And we wanted to get some opacity, but also get some airflow. And this is what we got to. Well, truth is, like, we discovered the fabric and then we kind of realized why it was so good later after using it for years. But what it is a warp knit, right? And so what this is literally like daisy chain. It's columns. It's like, so, you know, weaving and knitting are like the fundamental divide in fabrics. They're very, very different structures, and there's a lot of different types of knitting. So most of your t-shirts, whatever, are circular knit, and then there's like fully fashioned knit, which is also kind of a circle, right? That's your sweater. And warp knitting is like the third type. It's less common, but sometimes it's like yoga pants or like the Issei Miyake, a piece of cloth stuff is done with like really sophisticated warp knitting machines. And so it's like kind of the third type of knitting. And then this is a subset of warp knitting. This is warp knitting with a weft insertion. And it ends up with a very, very different fabric that's kind of like, in some ways, closer to a woven than a knit, but it's different than both, right? Well, I mean, so, and what it is knit. Essentially, this, if you've ever made a daisy chain with like flowers or whatever, this is a daisy chain going up. There's columns of daisy chains. And there's the back. And so on the back side, there's more fiber of the warp direction than there is on the front side. And then there's a weft insertion, right? And so in the injected linen, the weft insertion is the linen, the warp is polyester, and it's much, much thinner polyester. This is a pretty accurate representation, right? So you have thin, light polyester going up, locking these wefts of linen in place. And the net result is that you get airflow, right? You can see there's some light going through, but it's pretty opaque, right? You're not like seeing the world. Like, you're not showing too much details to everybody. Whereas like if you used a really open weave, like you would show a lot. So that's injected linen. And if we zoom in, this year we're roll dyeing it, which means that we're able to dye both the polyester and the linen the same color. And you can see it's relatively even. But if you look on the inside where there's more polyester, you can see a little, you know, there's color depth that comes in because the polyester and the linen, linen take dye slightly differently. And so you get a really nice depth of color, really beautiful colors. They're showing up quite, I'm trying to see if I can, we can white balance it, I guess. Trying to see if, let's do the white balancing, see if we can get some better colors out here. Go white, come on, go white. See the white, but you can see the white doesn't want to go white. You can do your own white balancing. It is looking a little bit better. Maybe down here. Getting a little more accurate, but that's the injected linen. The injected linen pants is the classic. We made this the first year, right?
The pant?
Yeah.
I think it was definitely within the first 2 years.
It was 2016.
Okay, well then that was the second.
Second year you were here.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So.
And it's stuck around. I still wear this pant.
Yeah. I think it was the first year that we had injected linen, I think is what I was saying.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. It was the second pant.
Yeah.
The first pant was a tapered one. That thing.
Oh, so I guess it was, so there was probably an experiment the year before. Mm-hmm. I see, yeah. So injected linen pants, we can pull them out. Tyler is not here. I can see we've done this one, so let's pull this one out. It's a really nice straightforward pant. You know, it's funny, when we designed it, it felt like kind of like a loose pant in a way. But right now we think of it as a slim pant.
I know that it's kind of wild. Like
Yeah.
The premise of it was like
It's not a skinny pant.
Relaxed
Yeah.
pant. And now it's, you know, it really is just a pant. Like,
Yeah.
It's not firmly. It's not slim, but.
Yeah, it's not slim. It needs room. This fabric has no stretch. So one of the things about this fabric is it has zero stretch in it whatsoever. So it's not even like, you know, when we talk about two-way stretch and we talk about absence of restriction, this has like almost a tiny bit of the restriction if it's too tight, right? And also like the other thing to really know about injected linen in particular is that if injected linen is too tight, it gets hot. And if it's loose, it's the coolest possible thing, right? So if you're wearing it and you're like, this feels kind of hot, it means it's too close to your skin, right? And the reason for that, there's twofold reasons. One is that linen is actually an insulator. It's hollow and you know, has all these properties that make it cool, right? It stays open, it wicks moisture really quick, but it actually insulates too. So and that insulation is like kind of like a very short range, right? So like if it's really, really close to your body, like the insulation kicks in. But if it's further away from the body, like all the other factors outweigh it, and so you don't notice it at all. So there's every once in a while you see people being like, oh yeah, the injected linen is like surprisingly hot, and I can't guarantee you, but I say with 99% certainty it means they're wearing the pants too close, or the shirt, whatever it is, too close to the body. And when it's too close to the body, you lose all the benefits. As soon as it's further away from the body, you get all this airflow, plus the wicking of the linen, and it's amazing. It feels like shorts, right? Like when you're wearing these pants. That's the secret to them. And so, you know, it's a pretty straightforward pant. It's a relatively straight cut, and you know, it's in this day and age they feel kind of slim. They're definitely not skinny, right? They're not tight, and they've got these mesh pockets, power mesh pockets, which make them extra breezy. You know, we got the slot button front, which is a really nice detail. We've never seen one of these fail. I mean, obviously you took like scissors or gun to it or whatever, like, but you know, wear and tear is not going to fail like your ordinary button. It's a really nice straightforward pant, and you can kind of wear them two ways. If you like wear them just kind of like, you know, crispy, like steamed and hemmed to the right length, like they're pretty dressy. But if you wear them you know, cuffed or like just a little slouchier, like a little bit beat in, like they take like that with that Hollywood wrinkle is what I think that was Cha Muir who came up with that, right? Shout out to whoever came up with the Hollywood wrinkle.
I'm pretty sure that was you.
Nah.
Years ago. You started saying it years ago. Maybe you started saying it, but you said this in like 2017.
I probably took it from somebody smarter than me.
Okay. Great.
And
I will say, for every pair of injected linen pants I have one that I dry clean, and I have one that I wash for that very reason.
Yeah, so if you wash it, you're gonna get like a little bit of rumple to it, and it's gonna wear really casually, like your nice like beachcomber pant, right? And if you know, keep it nice and proper and dry clean it and press it or steam it or whatnot, like you can really dress it up. So it's got a lot of range. It's not hyper durable. Like, I mean, one of the draw size injected linen, this is 170 GSM, right? It's very, very light for a pant fabric. And the reason there are lighter pant fabrics, but they're usually made with like calendarized nylon or something, right? Really crunchy, like not that easy to wear. But for the most part, like when you get down that light, like it's really, really hard to make them opaque. And so we're using a technique that nobody else in the world, nobody else that we know of is using warp knit, weft, and sturgeon fabrics, right, to make clothes. So for that reason, we're able to get really, really light, and they're relatively durable, actually. Like they can fail, like they fail pretty easily in like catastrophic stuff, right? If you like fall off your bike or something, some of our other pants, like nylon pants or whatever, can like handle that pretty damn well. Like obviously not every circumstance, but like, you know, these can like, but everyday wear and tear, they last pretty well. The linen will fade, so it takes on character, which, you know, depends on your style, but a lot of people, like, I think that's the desired effect with linen. And so let's dive into it. There's a lot of questions here. So there's a question right here. I should scroll back, but I'm just asking where we make our clothes. So this is a good one because we can talk about it because we make things in multiple places. So right here you see the you don't see it because I'm not pointing the camera at it. Hold on. Now you see, right? So this is the Linenfoil. This is made in NYC, right? It's actually made in Manhattan. The reason it doesn't have we started switching to made in Manhattan labels, but they're vertical and they don't really fit on the yokes of these shirts. So that's why you got the horizontal one still. But that's small run stuff. Like the capacity in Manhattan is still real. Like the garment district, like New York City used to make 90% of the clothes in America, manufactured clothes. People used to make their own clothes, and so it's a tiny shell of what it used to be, but it's still vibrant. It's still charged with energy. It's still a place where you can create and brands can grow. Right, and that's where we came from, New York City garment district. We love it. We're going to defend it for as long as it can. There's every 4 years or so, there's like another wave. Every new mayor, there's another attack, another wave of like, oh, let's rezone this so that these factories are gone. Because it's crazy. The factory's like a couple blocks from Times Square. But it's got a rich, vibrant history and it's a real ecosystem. It's amazing. So, but we can't scale there, right? Like you can only go so far making stuff in Manhattan. So we make a lot of stuff in Portugal. These are actually, these are made in Manhattan too. And they have the made in Manhattan label. Flipped the wrong way. There we go. So you can see these are the Futuregliders. These are made in Manhattan as well. But if we go into the injected linen pants, you can see that these are made in Portugal. And we make a lot of stuff in Portugal, with Japanese fabric. And that's one of our favorite places to produce stuff. And it's got it's Western Europe. Really high quality. People are treated really well. They get a lot of holidays, more holidays than America, that's for sure. Shout out to them. They take August off. But they have amazing factories, amazing workers, amazing place to produce garments. And then we also make stuff in knits, in particular t-shirts, like we make in Thailand. And that is because we're knitting a lot of merino in Thailand. So that's that little aside. Let's get back into it. We got 2 more products, so and then I'll scroll through and try and find more questions to answer too. Willie, you want to talk?
Yeah, these are the
Futuregliders. Futuregliders up next.
Mm-hmm. In our paraglider form, which we have done. Have we done these before?
Not in Nefcloth. No, this is brand new. The form is not new, and the fabric is not new. That's why it's not an experiment. But this combination is new.
Same pattern as the bomb twill one, and just go through a little bit of details here. It's taken from, kind of classic paraglider form with some things taken off. I kept the tucks in here. I think it gives a really visual.
Well, there's no classic paraglider form. That's our name.
Okay.
We demilitarized it. The reference is like a paratrooper pant, and it's actually a slightly inaccurate reference, but it's a very common reference in military surplus stores. But the real reference is the M65 fatigue, which was like M65 refers to 1965, a very common military fatigue. It was in use. It stopped being the main one. I think it was the main one in the Vietnam War, and then after that they switched to another one, but it still had use in other parts of the military for a long time. Classic pant.
That. 2 knee tucks here. Tucked.
Yeah, this is straight from the form. Gives you a lot of nice extra volume at the knee.
On the bottom, we have from the outside appears to be like kind of standard hem, but this is a kind of twist, a proper twist.
This is all Willie. This is pure Willie right here.
No, I mean it's just a proper twist on because the one that you get can have like a cotton webbing in the bottom, and we kind of updated it here where you have a paracord inner adjust that is done with the 3-bar, and then on the outside you have these 2 belt loops, keyholes, buttonholes that go through both. This can go through it if you want, if that's your vibe. If you like that look on the outside, you want to wear it cinched up. I kept this for a reason.
Yeah.
So
and this is much easier to adjust. It also uses less cord than if you tie it, right? Because when you tie it, you need extra cord for the tying. So there's less cord dangle, and it's really easy to adjust and loosen. So you get a lot of range in the leg opening here.
And then if you don't like it, you just keep it in there and you take it out. It comes out simple. No.
Yeah, I mean, if you untie it, you can take it out. It's removable. Putting it back in would be a pain in the ass, but it's totally doable. You just need the right tool.
You need the right tool and 5 minutes of the most focused attention you've ever had.
Yeah.
Okay, the pocket. This is a real kind of signing detail, I think. This again, like from above. This is how the pocket kind of is usually constructed, where it has a flap that goes over. But I wanted it to be a dual entry pocket. So here you have two fully functional pockets. That is just one of those things that makes me happy. You can.
No, I mean, this is the amazing Willie detail here. Maybe I can actually I can put my hand. I'm wearing them right now, and so it's like one of these things you really have to wear to understand, right? So you have a pocket here, regular pocket, you put your hand in your pocket, and then you have a nice secure pocket here. But I end up putting things like wallet or whatever out in a secure pocket, and then because it's on the outside, it keeps it away from your body, and you have this nice empty, I'll have maybe hair ties in here or nothing, but it's just really breathable and freeing. It's it's liberating in a way that you. There's no words we're gonna be able to say that'll convey how nice it feels. You just got to experience it.
I agree. And it sticks away from your body a little bit. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Great stuff. Shank closure here. There's a lot going on the inside. Belt loops here, synced up.
And this is taken from the M65. Really long zippers. Yep. So. You can either sort of get a slight drop crotch, or you can wear it up high.
Yep.
And then you can see the double stacked right. So there's two completely separate pockets here, right? Two pocket bags, and that's the beauty of it.
Cool to look at. I like how that looks a lot. Okay, you got the adjustment, pretty simple adjustment, but this fucking works. It really is. It just works. Quick release here, and kind of lets you wear it where you want.
And you get 3, almost 4 inches of adjustment out of this if you cinch them completely on both sides, right? So it's about 2 inches of play. There's some fold here, so it gets complicated with the math, but because you're kind of folding over, but you can really reduce. So there's a lot of range. These are alpha size, which size small, medium, large.
Yep.
Alpha is jargon. But and so there's a lot you can do it. There's a lot of range in how they fit.
2 back pockets that come with this.
Yeah, with the flap. And again, this is referencing the original M65. The originals have snaps, but snaps can get a little annoying.
Yeah, I thought about keeping them on at one point, but I just was sitting on it, and I was like, I don't like that feeling. Yeah. So we put snaps here instead.
Yeah. And then, the original M65 has cargo pockets, and so this is really a cleaned up version, right? It still has 4 pockets on the front, but instead of having the 2 highly visual cargo pockets down here. And the other interesting thing about cargo pockets is they're really useful, but they also kind of annoying, right? You can put a lot of stuff in them, but it kind of slaps around and stuff. Yeah. This probably has a little less volume of pocket, but these are much more useful pockets. They're just nicer pockets. It's again, it's one of those you got to wear it to understand it. Somebody was asking, let's look at these questions. People want to see me. I'm wearing the gliders. Here, give them the taste. I'm wearing a large, which is, I'm a size 34 usually. And so here is me wearing size large in the dark navy gliders, double stacked pockets.
Looks great. People are going to ask what shirt you're wearing. I'm just letting you know.
People are asking what shirt I'm wearing. This is a shirt. It's an offshore shirt, I would think.
I would agree.
Yeah. All right, should we get in? Well, here, let's show the colors on this. I don't know if we even talked about the colors. This is black right here. Here's our white balance. Let's see if we can white balance correctly. We got dark navy over here. We got olive territory. And then actually, this is a big key thing. So these are delayed. We got one more color, dry tan. These are not coming out today. The other three are coming out today. There was just a labeling switch up, like literally, like they're labeled wrong. Not even in the pant, like on the poly bag has the wrong label on it, and it needs to get fixed at the warehouse. And hopefully, it'll just take a day or two. We don't know. It depends on it's like a secondary team that does the relabeling. It's not their main operation, so it can happen really fast, or it can be kind of slow if they're super busy. But yeah, so that's dry tan, the light one. These are not coming out today. The other three are olive territory, dark navy, black, and I think people want to know about the Linenfoil. Let's do it.
Some linen and some foil.
Yeah, you know a lot more about this than me, so go into it.
I can't.
I mean, the fundamental thing is it's super lightweight. It's 60% linen, 30%. I think if I'm doing this from memory, I think it's 60% linen, 30% viscose, and 10%. 10% is it poly or and so. But yeah, it's 110 GSM. That's the real thing, right? So it's a really light fabric, and people are going to want to know about the durability and washing. And
yeah, I mean, I have been wearing this fabric for a while, and it's a lighter weight, but I really have not experienced any durability issues. It's worth noting that there were some cutting issues in production, but that doesn't really correlate with the durability of the fabric.
And you've got it on right now too.
I do have it on right now. Yeah, I wear it a lot. I like it's a similar. I grab for this in the same instance as I grab for injected linen, and I kind of realized why. Is that there's always like a kind of permanent there's a permanent texture to it that makes it feel like it's ready to wear at all times.
So we can look at it. So it has all this texture, and this is how the fabric comes essentially, right? It's like kind of pre-texture, pre-creased, and it doesn't really get that much. I mean, you've washed this one that you're wearing, or is this one?
No, this is from the size set, but I have washed it.
Yeah, how does it wash?
It washes. I'm not going to say great. It washes pretty damn good.
Yeah. All right. Pretty. And so yeah, like you basically stay in this vibe, right? If this was 100% linen, it would wrinkle up really hard. But it's like a nice blend. It's super lightweight. So it's a weave, right? So it's a weave, and I don't actually know how they create this sort of creasing effect exactly, but it's a pretty standard weave. Somebody was asking earlier, like how this is different than injected linen. This is like your average weave structure, and if you hold it up, the difference is that you can get much lighter. As you can see, right, like if you made pants out of this, like they probably would be opaque enough to wear, but they wouldn't be that, pants would be pushing it. We could try. But yeah, you can sort of see the buildings behind me now, right? But it's pretty wearable. It's not like going to be like clear, but you're not getting the same balance of like opacity and durability that you get with the injected linen. And so we're thinking about making shorts in it. So
it's 60-30-10.
60-30-10. What's the last component though? Polyester. Okay, yeah. So it's 60% linen, 30% viscose, and 10% polyester. Glass and Boxfords. When would you choose this over the Injex Camp Collar? There are Injex Camp Collars coming, so you're going to get the ability, well, I don't know if they'll be up at the same time, but there'll be some ability to choose. The Injex Camp Collar is heavier, right? The Injex is light for pant fabric, but it's like actually like not heavy, but like medium, like on the heavier side of medium for shirt fabric. So this is a much lighter fabric. but also, you know, a little less durable. It only comes in one color right now. What should we talk about? The camp collar form is very straightforward. It's been sized up from last year. So if you have a camp collar, we should have put that in fidelity. If you have a camp collar from last year, you know, if you, like, a medium will be equivalent to last year's large, right?
Yep.
This year's medium is equivalent to last year's large. So it's these were on one size bigger than last year's. Return of the 6030, that's the date, the year 6030. We will bring it back. Our injected linen pants, as they're more breathable than 100% linen. They're more breathable than 100% linen, especially for their durability. Like head to head, I mean, I guess if you put the exact same weight of pure linen, it's a little hard to say, but like if you had the exact same, you know, if you did 170 GSM of pure linen, it would not be nearly as durable as this. Would it be as open? It's hard to say. I think this is going to be a little bit more open, but it's more about the fact that you just wouldn't make a pant out of pure linen at this weight. You just wouldn't do it. I mean, we can try. I mean, this is even lighter, but this has, you know, other fibers in the mix too to give it some strength as well. So anyway, I mean, I guess we already addressed it. Any changes in the cut, it's just one size off. I can put one. We just made it one size larger. Futuregliders or bomb gliders. It's kind of like a summer versus winter if you're talking Futuregliders versus bomb gliders. The Futuregliders are like your spring summer lightweight joint, and your bomb gliders are your fall winter. I think they work in the spring too, but like they're 60% heavier or something.
I won't wear the bomb gliders right now.
What?
I won't wear the bomb gliders right now. Like,
yeah.
Put them away.
So I don't know what this comment is referring to exactly, but polyreflex heat, this is true. I'm quite sensitive to it. And there's not that much poly in here. I mean, there is some, and when it's really close to the body, it becomes an issue. But you know, we've worn this fabric for years, and that any like heat reflection that's coming from the poly is so outweighed by all the openness. Like this pant, like when you wear this, feels like you are wearing shorts. You can only wear this pant in shorts weather. I don't want to say it doesn't feel exactly like wearing shorts. Like it's maybe a degree, like 1 degree, 2 degrees warmer. But basically, like, you know, if you start wearing shorts when it's 72, right? Just as random cutoff. Like everybody's got their different vibe when they want to wear shorts. But like 72, like you can start wearing shorts. Like you can wear these pants at 71, but you can't wear it at 70, right? Like it's like you get 1 degree lower than your shorts cut off, right? So if you can wear shorts when it's 60 degrees out, well, you can wear these in like 59, but you're not gonna wear them in 58. All right, same thing. If 80, like you can wear these at 79, but you're not gonna wear them at 78. Basically, like shorts weather, you can wear the pants. Pants weather, like these are gonna feel cold. I've like tried it too many times. You go out here like 60 degrees out, I can't wear shorts, and I certainly can't wear these, right? I'm like, wow, these are cold. So dream weight tanks, we got a little bit of time, but they're coming. All right, shorts are up. Shorts. So shorts have 55. What does that mean?
That she starts wearing shorts.
55. Oh yeah. All right, so these all should be up except for the dry tan on the pants. Linenfoil Boxford. So yeah, let's talk about what to make. Well, how is Linenfoil better than Hemp 137? It has a better wrinkle. Like it's not gonna like, you know, come sort of pre-wrinkled, and it doesn't like crunch up the same way that Hemp 137 is. It's lighter than Hemp 137, but it's also an experiment. We're gonna find out, right? Like we're gonna know more. Willie loves this one. Let's see. A Bearcat in the building. Are Futuregliders bulk buy eligible? I don't think they are. I'd have to check. Do we have any other Linenfoil experiments in the queue? So this is a really good question, because we have to do an inventory, right? So what happened is we were going to have 2 Linenfoil products. This is the first one, and we were still debating what the next one should be, and then this ran into some production issues, and some of it had to be recut, and so we still have to do an inventory on how much Linenfoil is left. But I'd say there's like at least a 50% chance we can do another product. So if you have ideas on what you really want to see in Linenfoil, we're still playing around. Obviously, a long sleeve shirt is one like sort of obvious option, and then we've been playing around with doing the bigs. Like, they might not be that durable, but I mean, we can learn. So those are kind of the ones that we're playing around with. But if you're looking at this fabric, or you buy this fabric, material, and you have some real deep idea of what you want to see it made with, like there's still an opportunity to get your voice in there. Do you have a favorite material for this cut? We're not supposed to pick between our children like that. The gliders, I can say Tyler wears the Futuregliders probably more than any of the other ones, right?
I would say Tyler's. I'm going to speak on behalf of Tyler and say his favorite Futuregliders.
Yeah, Tyler definitely wears the Futuregliders the most. I haven't had the Futuregliders until an hour ago. Like, I just put these on, so I haven't really spent much time with the Futuregliders. I probably, out of all of them, spend the most time in the Injected Gliders.
Yeah.
And wait, you're in the Injects, Willie?
Injects. I mean, they really are. There's like a season for all 3.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
If I had to choose one to bring, I was like, you only have one to a deserted island. It would be the Injects, because it would be hot. So.
Yeah. All right, an island. Yeah. Injects is better because it goes with better weather. All right. When's more injected linen pants releasing? There's a bunch. So fingers crossed. We have high darts really, really soon. We also have linears that'll be a little bit further out, but they're coming. And then we have Injected Gliders, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Injected Gliders. And is there something else pant-wise? Or is that it?
Pant-wise. There's shorts.
And there's a bunch of shorts. Or one short?
There is 2 shorts.
2 shorts.
One pleated.
Yeah, pleated and
one
airs.
airy.
Yeah. So we got shorts. The Injects high darts are really, really soon. Linear is a little bit further than that. And so there was somebody talking about ankle hugging earlier. If you want a looser pant, right, you got both the Injects high darts, which are mostly looser on the top, and they're more tapered, but they're much looser on the top. And then you have the Injected Linen areas, which are much looser all throughout. And then you also have the gliders, which are quite loose as well. And then there's a chance we might do Injects flows. Like, we're still working on that. Price of the pair, so I don't know which pant they're talking about, but the Injected Linen pants are $198, and the Futuregliders are $295. And I don't remember what the price of the Linenfoil is. Main benefits of these in F-cloth versus other materials. So yeah, I mean, we sort of talking about the 3 seasonality of it, right? So you have the gliders, F-cloth here. So, the benefit of F-cloth is that it's super, super durable and relatively lightweight, right? So, like, it's basically, like, the lightest you can go and, like just jump through the bush, like, go bushwhacking in, right? Like, Injected Linen pants, you'd be, like, scared to, like, tumble in the bush or, like, scramble on rocks or whatever. This stuff, like, you can, like, push it through whatever, and it's not indestructible. It's 200 GSM, it's nylon 6/6, air texturized, high tenacity, right? So it's quite a durable fabric, and it looks great, and it's got a lot of nice breathability because it's so light, but it's still like pretty much like like do anything. Heat would be the one weakness with nylon, right? But yeah, that's the advantage. You want right? So if you want optimal hyper light, you want the Injects, right? You want the super breathability, like you want the Injects. If you want like lightweight combined with super durability, you want the F-cloth, the Futuregliders. And when it gets cooler out and you want even more rugged, but like, you know, it runs a little bit warmer, more structure, like a much more burly material than the bomb gliders will be the one.
I gotta wait.
All right.
Some work.
All right. Willie's out of here. How does the Linenfoil wash? It washes up okay, but it's experimental fabric, so we're going to find out more. Willie's washed it quite a bit. But there's a lot of learning with new fabrics, so that's what's up. What else do we got? Which shirt am I wearing? This is an offshore in experimental fabric. And yeah, I answered what other pants. Stretch. Yeah. So we're gonna look at injects with stretch waist is something on our radar, but it won't happen this year. What else do we got? Another fifth pocket on these next year. I don't know. We'll look at it. We're not tweaking this one too much. I don't know how much it needs fifth pocket. But there's some, you know, noted, well noted, the request. All right, I think that's good. Let me see if there's any like brand new questions. Scroll at the bottom. Why is the Linenfoil rated for hand wash only? You know, I don't think we actually had a long discussion internally. That's probably just what the manufacturer specs are. It's woven in Italy. The Italian manufacturers are very conservative. They don't like they still do a lot of dry cleaning there, right? And the manufacturers, the mills, often like are overly cautious in their ratings, and we're probably just reflecting that. Strong yes pants. I don't know, something to think about, but it's not like high on our priority list, especially now it's getting warmer out. Roll dye, yeah, we should talk a little bit about roll dye. Any differences with the roll dye for injected linen pants? So, you know, roll dye, like when we say RD, like roll dye is like how most of our fabrics are dyed, right? Like but the difference between like what we label as RD and when we just have a color name, right? Black versus RD black, right? Olive territory versus RD olive territory, is that when we label RD, we are controlling the roll dyeing process. So we're buying from the mill something called prepared for dyeing, right? PFD fabric in Japan, right? And so for a long time we used to buy PFD injected linen, and then we'd also buy roll dyed black. And the Japanese, for whatever reason, like had the hardest time dyeing this stuff, and that's why we only did the black. And then we would do garment dye, right? Which is, if it says GD, or we could say GDX sometimes, because it would cross dye, it wouldn't dye the polyester. And garment dyeing, you sew the product and then you dye it. Roll dyeing, you dye it on the roll in a dye machine. And so when we say RD, it means that we're controlling, we're contracting, we're doing the work. Like we were literally taking the fabric from Japan, shipping it to Portugal, to a dye house there, and then we're working directly with that dye house to roll dye it. And so it's comparable to the black in a lot of ways, except it's dyed in Portugal instead of being dyed in Japan. So any of the old black is quite similar. And the big difference is that with roll dye, we're able to dye both the polyester and the linen with a level of consistency that's been very hard to do with the garment dyeing. It's not theoretically impossible to do with garment dyeing, but it's much, much harder. And also garment dyeing, like, you know, adds some damage. There's a lot of complexity to garment dyeing, and they add a lot of steps to the production process. But for the most part, like the garment dyeing, like the polyester was not dyeing, so you would get like this white striping, which can look really, really nice in shirts, but doesn't look so great in pants. It depends on the color. But that's the big difference between the roll dye and the garment dye. Is Rami coming back for the spring? Yeah, Rami's a little bit delayed. It was supposed to be here already, but it's coming hopefully in a few weeks. By the end of this month is what we're hoping for. So Rami Lust, 4 flavors of Rami Lust, all coming. What's dropping next week? We're hoping to have the hide arts next week, but no promises. Everything's all about shipping right now. Our Injected Linen is going to be hemmed. I honestly don't know. Willie might know, but I don't know. All right, so I think I hit the end. It's great talking to you. These products are amazing. 3 flavors. There's a lot more to come. There's a ton of injects. Yes, Rami. There's new materials coming later and all kinds of stuff. And if you have any thoughts about like what you want to see Rami fall in, like go to the Discord and shout it out or whatever, because we still have to make a decision. We have to count the material and see how much we have first, but we'll see. It's like we got to take inventory of the damage. But stay tuned. Come back next week. Lots and lots of beautiful stuff coming. Peace.